Hi, everybody. This is Cheryl Abram, and you're with Everyone Deserves an Epiphany, which is, a very appropriate statement for what I'm about to talk about right now. Um, so I'm, excuse me, working on several courses with some folks, cybersecurity, Python, languages, and all that. So what I am proposing is to slightly deviate from what we typically do with learning. Okay. Um, so something that you'll hear a lot in I don't know, the spiritual community, I guess is what they call it, is something called the direct path. Now, if you're Buddhist, you probably heard of it or something else. I don't know, like where else they talk about that, but I know they talk about it in non-duality and in some other stuff. But so the opposite of the direct path is the progressive path, where it's incremental, like you do stuff as a step at a time. Okay. Now, when it comes to training, okay, well, in spirituality, the direct path is you go right there. Direct inquiry, ain't no progression. No, you right here. You asking the question, you seeing what's up. Okay. There's books and all kinds of stuff on that. Okay. But when it comes to training design, all right, let me show you this picture here, which will be a good example of what I'm talking about. Let me see. I want to share my screen. Oh, okay, let's try that again. So I'm going to show you something that I use in my goal-free evaluation work. I hope it works. There it goes. All right. Now, the last time I did a goal-free evaluation, I had this in the slide for the presentation of the results because, as you can see in this picture, we design training. Okay, you're instructional designers and whatever else the titles are. Okay, and many times the learners are not, they're not trying to have that. Okay, like you see the user experience. Okay, they determine, listen, this is what's best for me. Like for me, this is the way I want to do it, this is how I do it, and all that. Okay, which is great. I mean, that's what they do anyway. So because what we do with design, we over design is what we do, right? Following all the rules and the protocols and all that, instead of leaving the person in the world. Just leave them in the world. See what they're doing. Observe what they're doing. Okay. And where some design is needed, design around it. Okay. So something that I told a former colleague about leadership training, like we did a lot of leadership training. Okay. In the government. Now, if you work in government, we treat these executives like babies. Okay. I mean, like, is the coffee hot enough? Are the donuts sweet enough? Are you comfortable? You know what I'm saying? So it's disgusting. You really, we treat them like babies. Okay. And so what I said was, as a direct method, whether it's learning their executive core qualifications or the ECQs or any other leadership competencies, conflict resolution, decisiveness, I don't know, dealing with difficult people, whatever the case, don't change anything. First of all, number one, keep the learning in the workflow. Okay. Because one area where we really fall short as learning and development professionals is it when training occurs, the narrative is that you have to leave work to go to training. Isn't that the narrative? Like they're not the same thing. I got to leave one to be in the other. When that is totally not true. if you look at the definition of work, it's mental and physical energy used to produce something. That's learning too. Like they're the same thing. Okay, both are happening at the same time. So that's number one, is that narrative. Okay, and then number two is, because I have to leave work to go to training, now the environment that I'm in is nothing like the environment where I work. You know, my job looks nothing like where the learning is occurring. Okay. So what one thing that I said as an idea for a direct method of learning for these individuals is, and again for leadership competencies, like go to a meeting. Like they have meetings all the time. Okay, but design the room in a way that evokes discomfort that would require them to use one of these competencies. Okay. So, for example, when they walk in the room for the leadership meeting, there's no chairs in there. Okay. There are no chairs. Like whatever they're expecting to be there is not there, but they still have to carry on with the meeting. You know what I mean? That's a direct method of learning. Okay. I have another, one of my friends that I'm helping with a course where we're treating students as if they're new hires to an organization, right? Like treating them as and one of the issues, and let me say this, okay? So first of all, with direct method is about the person. Like it's not about the instructor. Okay, it's not about what makes you comfortable. It's not about what you know. How much you want to let people know what you know. Is not, you have nothing to do with it. The what you have what your business is about you and what you're learning. Okay, the learners what the learner is learning is none of your business. Okay, when it comes to the direct method. So that's hard. I mean, for many instructors, that is so difficult because you have to let go of control, and I told him yesterday, I said, listen, because he was having a really hard time, letting go and letting the learner do what learners know how to do. Like the book that I have in the corner here called Longing to Learn. We forget how to learn because of the way we're taught, because of education. We forget how to learn, and we have to remember how to do that. Okay, because I told him, listen, as an instructor, if you go in there with crutches, they're going to use them. Okay, they're going to look to you to teach them instead of looking to themselves to learn. So the direct method, it's not easy all around. It's not easy for the instructor and it's not easy for the learner. Okay, because we both have really bad habits that we have to break. We have really bad habits that we have to break in order to do something like that. But the direct method is very, very effective because you have to use the tools you have now. Listen, there's a tool called a rich picture that I use in a lot of my planning. Okay, a lot of my planning. And what a rich picture is you draw on a board or piece of paper, whatever, your current situation. Like let's say you want to, change careers. All right, like I did. You would draw your current situation. What's the house you're living in, the people you're living with, the job, the people you work with on the job, and just draw your life, draw out your life. Okay, like what does that look like? Where are these people situated? Are the relationships strong here? Are they weak here? Like what's going on? Because that everything you have there is the material that you're going to use to get what you're trying to get, to get into a new career, to get married, to create a really good course or whatever. You got to start with what you have, which is why I love that tool. I absolutely love that tool. So in the direct method, that's what it's telling you. It's like, listen, you don't have me in your ear at work, okay, telling you how to do this, that, and the other thing. All right. You have what you have, yourself, your colleagues, the internet, you know, so why not just put them in that situation and allow them to use whatever they have to help them build conflict resolution skills, to build technical writing skills and things, that's pretty much all I use now. If there's something that I want that I've been asked to do and I don't know how to do it, guess what I got to use to learn? The tools that I have now. They're going to have to be arranged in some prioritized and in a way that allows me to learn how to do it. So the direct path is not progressive as we, which is the way we typically design stuff. Okay. It's in your face. All right. It's unapologetically in your face. All right. And there are many missed opportunities, and for us to use this method in our design. And it's mostly because of the instructor and them wanting to be in control. We're gonna have a whole thing about that. Okay. We have to trust the learner to do what they know how to do, you know, and get out of their way. Because when you don't do that, okay, you're in the way. You're in the way. All right, y'all. So thanks for being here, and I will be back soon. Y'all have a good one.